Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. So this is going to be your traditional end of year bank video, going through the accounts for the main account. I'm not going to do it on the other two because I think the series will kind of like catch up and show you what's in their bank anyway. When I get to a certain point, I'll make sure to do a bank video, mainly to catch up on the bond account, not too bothered about the noob account. So for this account for this year, obviously Necromancer was released and we're not quite 120 yet, but the main goal for next year is going to be the 120 Orc Cape, which really we're not too far off. We are 117 Necromancy at the minute, and I've got plenty to edit, so we will go back to Absolute Beasts. I'll probably get that in the best part of 2 weeks, and we're also hopping to fire making as well, where we're nearly 100 mil, and that won't take long to wrap up as well. But as you can see, we've got quite a few 119s ready to polish off. We've got mining, cooking, we've got thieving, construction, all so close to finish 120 as well. So then the final two skills are going to be prayer and fletching, which I'd probably say a couple of months with the way I skill and with the way I pay attention, especially to prayer. The burial way of doing prayer is a lot easier now, but it's also a lot more grindy in my opinion. But anyway, in terms of things for this account as well, I've not claimed any pets this year. They are all in the bank, so that'll be a good thing to go through as well. But that was the main goal of this year, was to do some pets, finish some collection logs, and I think we have finished some collection logs, but it's mainly just your God Wars 1, God Wars 2, nothing too major. There were definitely some more vlogs to finish for the new year, and I want to sort of have a go at the better high tier PVM anyway. So in my coin pouch at the minute is 2.6 mil, which I'll just throw into the bank. In terms of what's in my Grand Exchange, I'm buying some Elder logs because that's what I'm throwing into machines at the minute. I have some Sacred Oil, Find, U Planks, and Gren Walls, which I've been buying for a while now. If you've been watching the videos lately, you know I've been trying to pick them up as my way of utilising the Grand Exchange while I'm doing some other stuff. But let's get started. The 150 mil cash is quite low at the minute, and I was quite lucky this year to win the Halloween lantern thing, which was like 1.2 bill. I pretty much lost that on fletching, so cash stack at the minute is just here and there. I've got stuff I can sell in the bank, but as long as I've got enough cash to keep me up with doing my machines and stuff like that, that's all I'm really bothered about, so I'm not too fussed about that. Cash will come. Even if I just go and do Slayer for a little while and AFK some tasks, I can find some money. And to be fair, even doing Absolute Beast for Necromancy does bring in a decent chunk of money as well. Pure Essence, 122k of that. That is 200 each. So that's a lot more than that's a lot more than it's been in a long time. Because of the Necromancy stuff and turning into Pure Essence. Runes, just your standard supply. I've topped up on Nats because they were cheap. 573 coins for Nats is just too cheap in my opinion. So I've bought that. House tabs, just your generic ones I normally use, so teleport to house and a couple of chipped ones. It's probably just the Menopause ones I use now, just those two tablets, but it's sort of having it like this for so long, I'm quite reluctant to change it, so that's why it normally stays the same. Potions, salves, aggressions, elders, and holies, depending on what I'm doing, depends on what overload I take. I don't always take salves because it's a waste. Normally I'll just take the normal holy overload and see how we go from there. Blubbers went through the roof because of Ryziel, so I've got a decent stock of those, and sailfish as well. Vaughan bombs, always worth having, always worth buying after bonus XP. Super prayer renewals are so expensive, but are a really good way to make some money if you want to. Power bursts, prayer super restores, brews, super prayers, adrenaline renewal potions, which I did just to finish up my herb lore, just so I had a decent stock. And weapon poisons as well. Items here, which are kind of important. Ghostly Essence with Absolute Beasts, really good for prayer XP. Grace of the Elves, one of the best items. Passage of the Abyss is okay. It's not really worth the money in my opinion. Excalibur, Cabbage Ring, Quiver, and Magic Notepaper, along with the Ritual Shard. Really key items here. Normal familiars. The one out of the lot which I use the most is probably the Bunyip, and then maybe second Pakyak. The rest, not really for me. Some teleports, Dragon's Medallion, Ectophile, and Ring of Kinship. We have the new Ancient Summoning stuff. Well, when I say new-ish, it's probably been a year or two. But these four now are becoming more and more powerful as I PVM more and more, and especially the Hellhound, when I'm learning Ryziel, is pretty clutch. And the Necromancy runes as well, because I've not yet got the Necromancy rune pouch. Here downwards is pretty much junk and just stuff I've bought with the intention of using at some point. So I've got some keys to do a loot video there. I bought some frames to do. The older frames I did all my construction with, and they're just what's left over. The Catalytic Anima Stone and the Elemental have come from Bound Skeletons or Abyssal Savages, one of the two. Basically something I camped for Necromancy did those. Sandstone I did for a money making method, and I just bought it too high of a price and it's too much of a 4 lake to sell, so I'm just going to turn it into sandstone or the refined sand at some point. And then the rest is just bits and bobs, mainly like Christmas related and stuff I will get to at some point. So this tab is like my weird stuff. So the big things which have come into it this year are the orange Halloween masks. So we've got 2 of those. Didn't really get lucky apart from the 1.2 bill mask at Halloween. In terms of any of the other holiday rares, didn't get the Black Santa, not had the purple Santa hat. But I am currently sat on quite a bit of notepaper. But yeah, it's just like random items which mean something. Like this is the artifact which got 200ml arc. And just some random bits as pieces here. But there are some items which are like actually worth something. So 2 zombie walk overrides at 230ml each. The golden party hat, still 140ml. Golden cape, sorry. There, 13 boxes of clues. And just some other stuff. And we also do have the green Halloween sat there as well. Skilling tab. So starting at the top, the Master Farming Cape, Brooch for Gods. Some Jadinko vines, which are worth using, or I've hunted before. Grapevine seeds, one of the best things to farm. So much profit in those. Farming Jujus as well, still really good. Seeds I'll farm, portable fairy rings, god grapes, scepter of the gods. Some herbs I'll farm occasionally if I'm in the mood to. Plank box is one of the best skilling items in the game, and it's worth every bit of the construction contracts thing. So good. And then just generally like skilling items, like stuff to cook. If I ever wanted to fish, some logs, some energies, and then I got all my proteins here. Decent collection of protein now, and just from like just promos and just doing like dailies and just your regular keys, they do build up if you don't use them. So I've got quite a stack, which at some point we will use for all the skills, because eventually, long-term game, we will be 200ml. Broad arrows, which I bought for fletching, and some broads have already fletched. Powder of burials for prayer and my cause. 75k silver hawks, which I don't need now. I'm 200ml agility, but I'm just waiting to see if they can go a little bit higher, and then I'll cash out on them then. And always expensive, so I always sit on some just in case I need them. Believe it or not, that pile of cooking urns there is 37ml. And I've probably got like 50ml in urn just there, have I? 73, that's disgusting. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the skilling bit. Some dwarven tool axes, which I'll probably use in woodcutting at some point. The new cleaners, which aren't really worth using because they're so expensive. And then just some other bits and pieces. I have the visor webs to turn into ganodermic visors to see if that will make us some profit. And here is my massive collection of full arrows, which I made on double XP weekend. Was selling at some point for a profit, and then Jagex ruined my life with the update to Anachronian firemaking. Combat side, we've not really made as much progress as I like here. Again, it's still very much what I'd class in like the higher mid tier. I really want to push for like the tier 95s in the top PVM sets, but for the time being, it is okay. Now, pretty much the top 3/4 are redundant now. I mainly just use Necromancy, so I've got 2 sets. I've got the Death Dealer tier 90, which I kind of use on stuff where I want the Death Mark effect. And then I've got the full maxed out Rigel set with all the proper perks, which I'll use on all the high tier bosses and all the stuff I really need the DPS for. And then I'll just take the Death Mark spell and use it as and when as well. 10 Death Touch Dart, so we're a little bit closer to another next video, and maybe for once it will pay out. But apart from that, rest of it are just sort of normal items, nothing absolute top tier. But that is something I really want to upgrade this year, because it's a bit lacking. I think it could be a bit better. So as I get better at PVM and as I get better at certain bosses, the gear will hopefully follow suit as well. Potion tab, pretty much the same as it's always been. Top row is potions and some random secondaries, and then I keep all the different doses. And then every couple of months, I'll just change them back into their full doses, just so it brings me back some more potions. Did invest in some brews after bonus XP because they were cheap, but they're pretty much sat at the same price. The Abyssal Charms for the Abyssal Titans, which I did a video about a couple of weeks ago. They're sat there just in case they go back up again. This tab, clues and dummies and masks. Nothing really much to say apart from I'll throw these into the clue carrier. We're doing okay. I really want to work on these because I want the clue set. For me, as soon as I've got the clue set, I'll do clues more often. But getting that clue set is what the grind is at the minute. So we're doing decent on the clues, but I'm not using Big Book anymore. Big pages are just too stupid. So unless I collect it myself, I've just told myself I'm not going to do it. Or at least until those clues are done anyway. Brawlers, I should really join them all together to save me some bank space, but this is just a random achievement diary / Brawlers tab or thieving tab. Right, drop tab or just combat stuff, just your generic like loot. In terms of PVM and stuff, we've not really done a lot apart from God Wars 1 this year, and even then it was AFK. My pets start here, so we've got Sarah, Bandos, Zami, Armor, full God Wars 1 set. We have believe it's Rex, Strength Pet, Thieving Pet, Slayer Pet, Construction, Necromancy. So we're half and half with like boss pets and skilling pets, which, yeah, I mean, I kind of want more boss pets, but I've got a boss to be able to do it. So that is something on the list. I need to put that there. But in terms of drops, nothing like overly spectacular, just your standard. I did get a Dragon Pickaxe from a Trisk Key, which is nice. I'm invested in Gremwall Spikes, that's why there's such a big stack there. But if you go through, it's just your generic loot from God Wars 1, although I do have 2 special sigils from my Corp video. Finally, Archaeology tab, nothing happened here. Stocked up on some more Dino Arrows, way expensive than what they are now. Probably bought them 2.5k. Doing a random little stock of dragons to see how much I can have from them. At the minute, they are currently valued at 33 mil, which is nice considering I don't even do anything player and farms. To have like a little bit of money from there is pretty good. Arc, don't touch it. And then finally, my Necromancy tab. Dragon Bones, which I've got for 120 prayer, as always, crashing. The rest of the bones I bought for rituals, which I've now withdrawn, but it's only about 100 mil worth. But yeah, that's the bank. Now, 2024, like I said before, I want to be PVMing a bit higher, more high tiered. I want to get into the bosses I've not really done before and explore content which I think is kind of beyond where I've been before as well. But don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the mid-level stuff, but I'd like to have a try at the higher level stuff. Just in case that little account gets a bit bigger than what I'm thinking it'll be, we're able to do it and we're a bit better at the game basically. But that's going to be the end of this account's video for bank video for 2023. Valuation is 17.8 bill. That is probably down a little bit from last year, and I'm not going to lie, I've lost hard on the full arrows. They've probably taken like the best part of 600 mil off me, but it was the easy AFK Fletcher XP I dreamed of, so it was worth it in one context anyway. However, I've managed to keep it under 15 minutes, which I'm very proud of. But that is my bank video for 2023. In terms of goals, like I said, PVM and more content for you guys. Really want to be pushing the content as consistently as we have this year, and I just want to say thank you one last time for all the support, all the likes, all the subscriptions this year. It has been absolutely mental. Make sure to let me know what your goals are for this year in the comments below. Hope you guys have a good new year, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.